guys, how are you? If you're new to my channel, my name is Sarah. This is my YouTube channel, Stitching by Sarah. This is a channel about cross stitch. I want to say hi. I've had a bunch of new subscribers over the last several weeks, so I want to say hi and thank you so very much for stopping by and subscribing. And I want to say hi to my returning viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much. I really do. I think I have the best subscribers. You guys are awesome. I went to do, well, I was planning on doing a regular update video today, and then I realized I went back through my list of videos to see when my last WIP parade was, because I knew it's been a while. And I haven't done a WIP parade since December, I think it was December 9th of 2022. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just make it a WIP parade instead of an update video. First things first, I need Forest City Stitching. If you watch this video, you need to email me at stitching.by.sarah@gmail.com. I got it right. You won this, and I need your actual name and your mailing address. So, Forest City Stitching, contact me, please. All right, and I have a list with all my WIPs, and I have their fabric, and I have when they were started. So hopefully I will be able to tell you, what the fabric is, if I remember to tell you when I started it. And hopefully I'll tell you if it's as charted or if I'm doing my own floss conversion. I have 5 WIPs that I've worked on since I last saw you. I think it was like February 3rd or something like that. You're getting 2 videos in 1 month. Imagine that. I have actually been stitching this since I last saw you. Anyways, I have 5 that I've worked on since I last saw you. I will show you those first. I'll do this is where it was last time you guys saw it. But for all those there, I'm not going to do that. I'll just show you where it's at now. All right, so let's get on with it. First one is the Stargazer by Mirabilia. This is where it was last time you guys saw it. And here it is now. The fabric is 16 count Witching Hour by Pole Stitches. The purple is my own conversion. The bustle and the hair ribbon and this part of the dress, they are as written. I started this on 5/16/22 with my friend Heather. We were doing a start along together. All right, so that's where the Stargazer is. And you might see a bunch of editing, especially if I do a lot of crinkles and I'm not talking, then I will edit those out, because there will be zippers, because I will be opening my project bags and pulling the items out. All right, so, and zipping them back up so I don't lose them. All right, the next one is, this is A Rose for You. This is by Putini. This is where it was last time you guys saw it. And this is where it's at now. So I've done everything but the scissors. I did all of that. The fabric is hot cocoa, 32 count hot cocoa by BeStitichMe. I am using the called for floss, I believe. The scissors, when I went to do these, I apparently counted wrong. The scissors are supposed to be lower, so I'm going to take the scissors out and move them down, because there's one on both sides and it'll look funky if it's on correct place on the other end. So I've got to take them out. That's what it looks like so far. My daughter's name is Rose. I was making it, I don't know if I'm making it for her, but that was my plans when I bought it. So if she wants it, when and if I ever get it done, you guys know how many WIPs I have. When I get it done, if she wants it, I will let her have it. All right. The next one is Psalm 145 by Littlehouse Needleworks. Oh, I started A Rose for You on 1/7/23. Okay, so this is where Psalm 145 was last time you guys saw it. And this is where it is now. Fabric is 25 count mushroom Lugana. I put the green leaves over on this side. I put those like burgundy maroon flowers or whatever they are in. And I also started this tree. And Psalm 145, I started that on 4/21/22. So I'd say I am, well, no, I was going to say I'm halfway done, but I am not halfway done. The house is pretty big. And then, actually, I was wondering, I don't know if I'm going to do the stitch. As you guys can see, my fingernails are horrible, sorry. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the stitched in the year of, I don't know if I'm going to do that. But when I get there, I'll do that. And this is my, no, I am using the called for. Never mind, I'm using the called for floss. The next pattern is Time and Season. Seasons in Time. Where's the cover? There's the cover. Seasons in Time by Elizabeth's Design. A friend gave me this pattern. I'm doing the larger one. That is one of my favorite verses. Actually, it is my favorite verse. All right, so this is where it was last time you guys saw it. And this is where it was, or this is where it's at now. I added in all those stems and I started the words. The fabric is an unknown fabric that I bought at a stash sale through my embroidery guild. And I started this. This was one of the 31 projects I started last year for January Start Palooza. This I started January 4th of 23. And I can thank January Start Palooza for my 60-some WIPs. It was fun, but I have a lot of WIPs now. And this year I am trying not to, oh, you know what? I can tell you the name. 32 count vintage maritime white. Huh, I'm gonna have to write that down. Hold while I write that down. And I am using the called for floss on this one. Last one I worked on since the last time I saw you. Is Chicken Crazy by My Big Toe. This is where it was last time you guys saw it. That's where it's at. So I just have the chickens and the grass and the flowers down here and I am all done. So this is hopefully going to be my next finish. The fabric is, Chicken Crazy is 28 count Crystal Arbor. And I also started this in January Start Palooza last year. This was January the 14th of 23. You can see the sparkles in the fabric. If my friend Tina's watching, this may end up at your place. Is that actually why I started it? If Tina's not watching, then yay! Then it'll be a surprise to her. So I'm actually going to put The ones that I'm almost done with, I'm actually going to put aside, and I'm going to work on trying to get them done. So I'm going to put that there to try to remember. All right. That is everything I've done since the last time I saw you. I'm going to pause. Well, I'm not going to pause, but I'm going to go grab maybe that row or that box of patterns, of kits, and I will be back. All right, I'm back. So if you don't know, these two boxes are large patterns. See, the small ones are less than 100 by 100. The medium are, when you average, like you add them together and divide by 2, that's the smalls. The mediums are between 100 to 200 by, you know, the same thing. And then the larges are 200 and up. And I have, I think, 2 that are bigger than 300. So as you can see, my large ones are more than my small and my mediums. And down here, that is my fancy ladies. That's the Mirabilias and Nora Corbetts. And, oh, I can see the name. Well, you'll find out when we get to down there. And then if you don't know, these are charts that are all kitted up that are to be started. But I'm not starting anything until I get these WIPs down. Anyways, that was a sidetrack. All right, so first one is by La-Di-Da. It is, oh, on the top, Love Abide. The fabric is 28 count swank by Fortnite, and I started this on January the 11th of 22. Oh. As you can see, I've finished in a stitch, and there's not much left on that floss, so I should have just stopped, but I didn't. But anyway, that's where Love Abide is. And let me see how large it is. If you care, if you don't, I'm going to tell you anyways. So the stitch count on this is 254 by 243. So this is a big girl. It's not a huge girl, but she's a big girl. So that's where we're at right now on Love Abide. All right, the next is Silent Night by Stitching with the Housewives. Fabric is 28 count Raven by BeStitichMe. And I have not worked on this in a very long time. So that's what it's going to look like. Size of this is 144 by 144. And I suppose you guys want to see what it looks like. So that's where it's at now. Or yeah, that's where it's at now. You can see the sparkle in the fabric. Did I tell you when I started this? I don't think I did. Silent Night was started on 12/8 of 21. Oh, I like this one too. I should work on this more. The next is the Drawn Threads Sampler of Stitches. And it's going to be all of those stitches. It's different stitches for each of the letters. So for the letter A, there was a whole bunch of different stitches that started with A, letter B, yeah. So this is where it's at. Sampler of stitches. It's a 32 count. I started this on 9/25 of 22. A friend gave me the fabric. And let's see. Sampler of stitches. All I have is 30 count. 9/25 Flosstube-2024 of 22. And it is 179 by 209. All right, so one last look. There we go. That's where it's at. And this is using silks. I called for silks. So I'm not going to show you this one because I'm making it for somebody. So that is, I should work on it, but I haven't. It is 220 by 170. That is actually a medium. I'm finding that these are, some of them are not placed in the right spots. All right, the next one is Littlehouse Alphabet. This was a chart that was given to me, already started. It is on 14 count Aida. It is DMC, and this is by Tree Trunk Designs. This is an out of print chart. And this is where it's at. It's got some Krynic in a couple places. I don't know if you can see the shine in the water there. You can see it up there. And I'm sorry, I did not iron. This was a last minute decision. So these are lighthouses in the United States. One lighthouse per letter with what it starts with. So I started this on 11/25/21, and the stitch count is 176 by 295. Actually, I'm going through these and sorting these by their actual size because apparently I didn't put them. So, you know, my husband calls me left brain. I am very, ACD about some things, and, knowing exactly where my charts are based on their size is one of them. It annoys me when I put it in the wrong spot. So I am actually fixing it as I'm going along. The next one is Sampler of Stitches. Jeanette Douglas Mini Bouquet Sampler. This was a stitch along with two different groups. We started it with a local store that's no longer here anymore, unfortunately. They started the stitch along, and then my EGA group, they said, ooh, we like that, we want to do that. So this was the stitch along for last year. And, for neither one of them, I really should iron. Neither one of these have I done very much, but so the fabric is 40 count Dead Sea Scrolls. It's hard to see the white on the top. I am using the over dyed floss conversion. Actually, I think it's the called for. So that's where it's at. So January, February, March, April, I'm working on the May one. And I haven't touched this in a while. And let's see, when did I start? Mini Bouquet Sampler was started on June the 1st of 22. Let me see if I can find a size for you. 185 by 209. All right, next is, this looks like a Paula Vaughn. This is a Paula Vaughn. This was started by a former co-worker. And this was, it's the same person that started the Littlehouse Alphabet. She passed it on to me. So this is Friendship Quilts by Paula Vaughn. If you were stitching in the 80s or 90s, you probably have seen Paula Vaughn. fabric. And this is most of the floss. There's some of them that are missing. So there's a lot of floss in it. So the fabric is 14 count white Aida. And my start was on 1/18 of 23. So this was part of January Start Palooza. And honestly, I don't know what part is hers and what part is mine. Well, actually, probably this is mine, but I'm not sure. All right. And the size of this is 258 by 156. And if you've been here anytime, you've seen me working on this one. I work on this one more regularly than a lot of them. So this is Long Dog Sampler's Death by Cross Stitch. My fabric is 32 count sand by Picture This Plus, and I am using DMC 956. 935. So it's that green. And I started this January 1st of 2020. And it's not going to fit on my board, so this is where I'm at. I'm on page 1, 2, 3. Am I on page 3, I think? Either on page 3 or page 4. No, it's got to be page 3. So that is the fabric. There's a lot of it. So this one is more than a large. It's a massive. Oh, there it is. That is the size. So it is 336 by 447. So that is bigger than a large. The next one is Autumn Quakers by Rosewood Manor. The fabric is 28 count Queens and Jobelan, and the floss is Valdani. It's really pretty. I should work on this more. You're probably going to hear that a lot from me. You know, it's the afternoon. Sorry guys, the light sucks. But that's where Autumn Quakers is so far. And Autumn Quaker I started on 9/28 of 21. And this is the Valdani floss kit that is specifically for this chart. Size is 170 by 270. So the next one is The Old Married Couple by Joy Sunday Cross Stitch. Size is 201 by 160. The fabric is 14 count whitewashed. Whitewashed board, and I started this 12/25 of 19. This originally came with the DMs or the the plain white Aida, but I substituted that for it. And what I should have done, instead of doing the background, I should have left the wood. But I didn't think about it until after I started, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going. So that's where it's at now. Oh, you know what? No, it didn't come with plain white Aida. It came with the printed fabric, and I don't do the printed fabric. I think think this is something I got off of Amazon. All right, the next one is the name of Jesus. I tend to work on this one a little bit more than the others also. This is by My Big Toe. Fabric is a 32 count brown that I dyed myself, and I am changing some of the colors in the pattern. The words, the letters, I am using Grape Fizz by Gast or Gentle Arts. But the reds and the browns elsewhere, that is the called for. And the size of this is 238 by 390. All right, I had to close my curtains because that sun coming in, I couldn't see my camera. As you can see, I moved on to the next box. So the first piece out of that box is Kindred Spirits with my needle, not to be confused with thy needle. This is a class kit. If you ever get a chance to take a class with Ellen Chester with my needle, you need to take it because she will teach you all sorts of stuff. The fabric is 40 count fabric that she gave in class. The actual fabric itself is 27 by 27. I was looking that up trying to figure out how big it is, but there's many different pieces in that one piece of fabric. So right now I am working on the pin cushion right there. And that's where it's at. Turn that every now and then so you can actually see what's there. And these are different stitches in the boxes. So this is another, like a sampler of stitches type of thing. And let me see, I started Kindred Spirits September 17th of 22. And you get the whole kit. I mean, there's a lot there that you receive. All right, my next project is Coming to America with Thy Needle. This is Brenda Gervais. I bought the box. It came with the floss, the fabric. The fabric is 36 count vintage country mocha. And I always mess up when I have vintage country mocha. I always end up stitching on the dull side instead of the printed side. But I actually did it correctly with this one. So this is where I'm at now. Not far. Coming to America, I started, this was January 1st of 2023. This was part of my January Start Palooza last year. Oh, and the size, 125 by 420. The next one looks like this. Oh, this is the horse one that I started a long time ago. And let me see. Let me finish pulling it out of here. Let's see. The pattern is by Yiotas X Stitch. This is Arab Mother's Love. Arab Mother's Love. I don't have a start date, but this was probably early 2000s. And I am stitching on like a 16 count white Aida. And when I was working on it, I wasn't as advanced as I am now. And I was having a hard time with all the whites and the light grays on this fabric. But I am more advanced now. And so I picked it up again and started working on it. So that is, let's see, the newest I started, since I restarted or continued since I continued picking it up, this is what I have done with it. All of this was early. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I originally was going to make this for my daughter, and then I put it up and got a different horse pattern and did that and gave that to her. This one was a mystery Sal from Forbidden Fiber Co. This one is Clue. I don't have a picture of it, of what it's supposed to look like, but this is where I'm at. I started this, I don't even have it written down here. I think this was last year I started working on it. I don't even have anything in here. Oh, the fabric is 16 count Conservatory by Forbidden Fiber Co. and all the floss is Forbidden Fiber Co. So that's where that's at. And I don't have a stitch count on it because it was a mystery stitch along and it came in pieces, so I'm not sure. I don't think this is not a large. I'm not sure why I had it with the larges. All right, so my next one is actually my oldest WIP. This is Love Songs by Paula Vaughn. I do not know when I started this. This was back in the 1990s. I am more than halfway done. Every now and then I pick it up. This is where it's at now. 14 count. Love Songs is Oatmeal. 14 count Oatmeal Aida. And it's all the called for DMC. So I'm definitely halfway done. I do pick this up every now and then to work on it because it is my oldest WIP and it really should be done by now, but it is not. And if you're new to me, if you haven't figured out, Paula Vaughn is one of my favorite designers. She is. I have several Paula Vaughns that I've started. I've got so many of her charts, her books. It's a little, although I have a lot of everybody. I'm just a little bit addicted. The size of Love Songs is 186 by 280 or 228. The next one is, looks like Long May She Wave. This is Stitching with the Housewives. Long May She Wave. And the fabric is 28 count, hand dyed by Rolanda. She just gives it a name of F26. And I am using the called for. So this was started on 1/15 of 23. So this was one of my January start paloozas. The next is Heart and Hands monthly markings. This is what it's going to look like. The fabric is Fabric Flare. It says Twilight Dyed Effects and 16 count. So that's where it's at now. Let me come in closer so you can see. And I started this on 1/24 of 22. The next is, this is Mary Harry because I can tell by the bag. Like Mary Harry 1853 or something like that. Oh, 1808. By Modern Folk Embroidery. This is a Pennsylvania sampler. That's why I bought it. The fabric is 32 count, a mystery brown fabric. And I am using the, I think they've changed their names. It used to be Leo and Roxy. I bought the kit from The YouTuber in Canada. I don't remember her name. She's now got a store. She was selling tote. Oh, is it on my tote bag? Evertote is her company name. I don't remember what her YouTube name is, but her company name is Evertote, or it used to be. I don't remember if it's changed. I haven't watched her in a while, although I haven't watched anybody in a while either. Anyways, this is where Mary Harry is at, and that's probably the true fabric color, but that is where we're at. And I started this on 11/10 of 21. All right, the next one is Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. So I had originally started it on this pink. I didn't like it, so I, as you can see, cut it out, and I restarted it. And the fabric is Atomic Ranch Fabrics Ocean Sand. And I don't have much of a start. I just have, actually, yeah, it goes like that. So hopefully all those colors will pop out a little bit more. All right, next up is Anna Marie's Pocket by Aida. This is a, this was a class project. The fabric is from the class. Let's see. I want to say the fabric is, yeah, it's Hogbrissel, 36 count Hogbrissel by Fox and Rabbit. And I'm using the kit Floss that she gave with us, or gave to us. And so let me, that looks like the true color. But let me get in here so that you can see what it looks like. And these are all, I think it's the 4-sided stitch. No, they are not the 4-sided stitch. They are Smyrna Cross, the Smyrna Crosses. Wait. So, and Anna Marie's Pocket, I started on November the 9th of 22 when I was at that class. So the next one is Starry Night After Van Gogh. This is a kit that I bought on Amazon, and as you can see, it does not, it is, you know, it's not in English. So it's a full kit. It came with the hard, you know, 14 count Aida, and then the wool floss. I started Starry Night After Van Gogh. 12/31/22 is when I restarted it. I had started it several years before that. But there is my restart. I restarted it. I had kitted it up with my DMCs. I had originally started with the wools, and I didn't like the way they looked or the way they felt, so I picked out my own floss that is equivalent to the wool flosses. So this is where my restart is. Not very much. And looks like it's an off-white 14 or 16 count Aida. Says 14 count. All right, the next one was another start from January Start Palooza. This is Built on Love by Silver Creek Samplers. The fabric is 32 count Belfast, Lemon Cream by Coloring Cotton. And that's the extent of what I have done on it. Not very much at all. A lot of those from 2020 or 2023, I don't have much done on. This next one is a kit, a Bucillus kit. This is called Apple Tree. So it comes with the, you know, the hard white Aida and the kit floss. This again was last year's January Start Palooza. This was January 31st. And that is the extent of what I have done. 14 count white Aida. The next one is called Snow Queen by Carol Tinson. Fabric is 32 count cream Belfast. It is a white work. So it's Snow Queen. So that's what it's going to look like. It's white on white. And let's see. Let's see what little bit I have done. So Snow Queen. I started this last year in January Start Palooza. This was a January 29th of 23. And there's not much done on that either. The next is Memorial Day by Hands On Designs. The fabric is a 14 count white Aida, and I started this on November 11th of 2021. And I love how it pops on this fabric. So I'm not quite halfway. I think right about here, well, actually I know right here is halfway. So I've got quite a bit more to do. Look how that flag pops right out. The next one is Cross Stitch Nation by Heartstring Samplery. The fabric is 28 count cornflower, and I started this on April the 12th of 2020. And I am using my own colors. I'm picking and choosing as I go along. Next is Bird of a Feather. This is Sally Spencer sampler. This is an out of print chart. Sally is being stitched on 32 count Old Gold by Fiber on the Whim, and I started this last year, also during January Start Palooza. That bird just pops on that fabric, doesn't it? And I believe I'm using, let me see if I'm using the called for, if I've made my own little list. I am doing my own thing. So these are my own conversion. And as I said before, a lot of these that I started January of last year, I haven't touched. The next is Fragments in Time. This is the 2022 version. Yeah, I had that in the right way. This is called the Susquehanna Valley Sampler. The fabric is 32 count vintage exemplar. Oh, come on. And I am working, so the border I got online at, what's the company's name? Summer House Stitchworks. On their website, you can get the border to make it all one piece, or you can do, like pillows like they have here. I can pick them up. These are all little pillows, but you can also do it as one piece, which I'm doing. So that is where I'm at on that one. The next is Star Spangled Street by Primrose Cottage. Primrose Cottage Stitches. So that's what it's going to look like. And I'm doing my own thing. I've created my own conversion. The fabric is, oops, get back here. fabric is 32 count raw silver. I started this also last year during January Start Palooza, and that's all I have done. I have worked on this more than a couple of, several of the projects that you've seen, but can you see the sparkle in that? There you go. I think you can see the shimmer. But that's all I've gotten done. And this next one's Tudor Rose Biscornu by Heartstring Samplery. Is that right? Nope. Sorry, guys. That's what it looks like. And the fabric I am using is 32 count cream Belfast. And I started Tudor Rose. This was another start for January Start Palooza last year. And I've worked on this quite a bit, as you can see. I like making biscornus. This next one is another kit. I think I bought this at Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance. This is called Tractor. This reminds me of fall up in Pennsylvania. The fabric is the kit fabric, the white Aida, and I'm using the kit Floss. I've worked on this maybe once or twice since I believe this was another January Start Palooza. Tractor, I started 1/9 of 23, and so that's where I'm at. I think I've worked on it maybe 2 times since I started it.